Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rise Tribe podcast. And today, we have the beautiful Maria Field. And Maria and Sam are both in Canada, both in BC, and they met up a couple of weeks ago, which was so exciting. We connected, you connected, and yeah, so Sam and Maria have actually met, which is amazing. Anyway, Sam, how are we?
I'm really good, thank you, darling. This is podcast number one of series two, isn't
Are we
it?
number one of series
I
two? There
think
we
we
go.
are. Oh, that's
And
amazing.
Maria, thank you so much for being podcast number one. Thank you for joining us, darling. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. This is all so excited, and I just love how we've all got connected.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
really interesting because I'm in BC and Kirsty was like, "Oh, Maria's coming on the podcast and she's in Canada." That's what I knew to begin with. And then she's like, "Oh, I think she's in Vancouver," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm not near Vancouver." It turns out Maria's in Kelowna, which was a couple of hours away where I was staying. And yeah, there was an event, and I went along for a sound healing evening and met Maria, which was
Oh,
amazing.
just magical. And I met
Yeah.
Maria through a network marketing company, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah, and then stayed connected through the world changes over the last few years. So it feels
Oh,
like a bit of a pivotal
Mm.
360.
100% it does. Oh my goodness. So let me just share what we're going to meander through today.
Yeah.
So Maria is an incredible EFT master. She's the title of this is about thinking our way forward will only take us so far. It's all about the feeling. And yeah, so we're going to have a meander around the feeling. Maria does a lot of work with adults, but also teens. So I suppose, Maria, first of all, how did you get into this field of trauma release, EFT work? How did that all start? Because I always find it interesting. How did people get into the area of where they are now?
Yeah, so I've worked with children and families pretty much my entire adult life. I always wanted to work with children from being a child. I was an only child, so just loved babies and kids. And then left school in the UK. We leave school obviously earlier than we do here in Canada. 16, went into the work world of export and import and always had this just edge to work with kids. And I got pregnant pretty young. I was 22, 21, 22. And I saw this was an opportunity to go back and really learn about child emotional and social development. Now I was going to be a mom. I didn't know
Mm.
anyone who had kids around me. I was the first one out of my friends, really. I had one friend, but yeah, I just didn't know of anyone. So I went into school and studied and became a preschool teacher. And that was, gosh, 2001, I had my first baby. So quite some years ago now. And I just loved it. I thrived in it. I did very well, and I got noticed in my profession. And then I took some extra training around trauma and helping children through the child protection system. So I would take in some children that was, through the foster care system who'd been through a lot of suffering. And what I didn't know that back then, you didn't even have to be trained in trauma. I really seeked out for myself, like, oh, I want to make sure I've got some tools to help these kids and also protect the kids that was in my care. I'd read some of the stories of, like, how children can behave if they've been through a lot of abuse.
Mhm.
But there was no professional, board back
Guidance.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, or requirement. So that's where it all began, and I just always had a natural ability to connect with kids. And I didn't, this was way before the word mindfulness was trendy.
Mm.
And I'd do little exercises with like breaths, and I'd always have them in bare feet in the grass in the garden. And I remember some of the parents didn't like it because they'd go home with like dirty feet. And I
Cold
didn't,
feet.
I'm from a city, so very different to
Yeah.
where I live now in BC, where I spend a lot of the time in the forest and in the lake
Mm.
and, in nature. But I look back, I was like, I was already doing so many of these things.
So Maria, that was
And I could,
already sort of so intuitive in you. It's not that you went and learnt that, or did you learn that in your trauma?
no, I
It was just
didn't.
a
It
real
was just
intuition.
Yeah, and we I guess because we was a younger parents,
Mm.
we would we wanted to take our little one camping. Again, not many people even went camping back then. It began a few years later, more and more people. But yeah, we definitely had an edge to like be in nature. And
Yeah.
that would just naturally creep in, and I'd do crafts with the kids where we'd go and collect, pine cones and things. And so yeah, I guess just really, that was already being brought in. And then really the trauma and understanding the emotions and the healing aspect and the power of what EFT and somatic work can do came from my own journey.
That's so interesting.
So
Can I just ask you, so because
yeah,
you were a young mum,
Mm.
yeah, yeah,
and that's
pretty
a really
young.
interesting thing. I just love that at that age. How old were you again?
I was 22 when I
Wow.
gave birth.
At that
Yeah.
age, you wanted to find out all you could to do what you were doing for your own child. Whereas most 22-year-olds are probably not really considering that, generally speaking, in terms of
Yeah.
they'd still be in a young mindset of social life and all the rest of it. So
Me. Yeah,
where do you think
absolutely.
that came from?
Well, my childhood was interesting
Okay,
in
we
some
love that word.
aspects. There was a lot of alcohol, which there was with many families. And my dad went through a lot of mental health stuff when I was a kid. And again, I didn't understand this at the time. I still didn't understand this when I was 22. This all started to make sense as I got into my work and healing.
Yeah.
And
And there
mental
was such
health
a
wasn't a thing then either, was it? Wasn't
no,
spoken about,
there was
especially
such a
in men.
no, there was such a stigma. And my dad is such a sensitive, big heart, loves children, mega creative, like mega. My kids' creative skills come, I'm sure, from his
Mhm.
side, not me.
Mm.
And he was bullied a lot as a kid. And so he really struggled. And he was a young dad as well. He was the same age as me, um, when he had me. We was actually, fun fact was actually, I was born in the same room that I gave birth to my eldest daughter,
Wow.
What?
which is at a hospital. Yeah, craziest thing.
Wow.
So I think subconsciously, I think we always try and do better than the generation before us,
Mm.
because there's awareness that creeps in.
Yeah.
And I just I feel like I was struggling. I'd struggled with anxiety as a teenager. 17 to 18, I was really starting to struggle. Binge drinking on a weekend, and I didn't realize back then why I was binge drinking. I just
Mm.
thought, oh, it's what we do. This is just what
Yeah.
we do. We drink on a
Yeah.
weekend, we let loose. But really what I was doing was I didn't have no self-confidence, no self-worth, and I had crippling anxiety. I used to go turn bright red at everything, and just it created a panic in my body, and I'd want to escape. And so again, I think there was a piece of this interest of like, why do we work the way we work? Why do these things happen? So I think I was seeking answers,
Mm.
and also a piece of me of like, well, I want to make sure that I can connect to my kids differently.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think for most of us, I was born in 78. It just this education, this knowledge just wasn't there. It certainly wasn't in the UK where I'm from. Um, and then yeah, I'd done regular talk therapy as a teenager, so I did go to ask for medical help with
Hmm.
this anxiety, and got given some medications that didn't agree with me. So then I was like, what the heck am I going to do? They didn't make me feel good. And so I remember seeking out a counselor, and I'd sneak in. I remember parking my car like 2 blocks away. And, some of it was helpful. It was a neutral space to talk
Yeah.
and share my feelings, to just get that
Mm.
out. But a big part of it was I just felt like their entertainment. I knew that they didn't really understand at that heart, soul
Yeah.
level. And it made me more angry, because there was a lot of blame emphasis. There was a lot of, oh, well, I mentioned, I shared that my dad had struggled with mental health, and,
Mm.
there was a lot of alcohol around us in our world, and I was drinking, and, the language was, oh, well, you're like this because of your dad. It runs in the family. mental health runs in the family. It's a disease, basically.
And
Is would
almost
be
making that, well, it's okay because it's not your fault, it's in the family. There's nothing you can do because it's in that lineage.
Really disempowering.
Wow.
yeah, and then it made me angry. Then it made me blame. Then it made me not what I was like, ugh, like I don't want to be around my family, and I'm an only
Mm.
child. I didn't have siblings to talk this through with. It was like, huh, interesting. And at the time I was suffering really bad with eczema, covered in eczema. Like I used to bleed under my armpits. Like, and as a young
Wow.
girl wanting to go out, get dressed up, wearing the skimpy clothes, it wasn't a good look. So it's like, what's this? And again, I'd gone through the medical system, done all the creams, all the
Ugh.
things, none of it worked. And it was actually my dad, of all people, even though he was, he was doing a lot better at this point. Like he would always look out for me as a teen, and like we was fine without that knowledge, if that makes sense. But underlying, there was always this, oh, am I like this because of you, because of, what runs in the family. But it was him
Mm.
who took me to a Chinese herbalist. I don't even know how it came about, but he took me for my skin, and it worked. Like I remember coming out with a bag of twigs, and this was like a little back alley, and again, not telling anyone. Also a bit scared because I didn't really speak English, and that was weird
Yeah.
back then.
Oh my
So,
God, bag of twigs. So it's really
uh,
made me laugh.
what's that?
Bag of twigs. It's really made me laugh. I love it.
It was like all these, I don't know, herbs, obviously, and I'd boil it up and make like a tea, and it tasted vile, but it worked. It cleared my
Mm,
skin, and so I think that was another little seed of open to other ways,
yeah,
right?
trusting.
Trusting that there's other ways, not just what we're told in the traditional systems that we grew up with. And then I had my first baby. I was doing pretty good. Like we was, like bought our first house, had the baby. My husband started his own business right away as I was pregnant, and then I opened my own daycare, well, in-home like childminding.
Mm,
Uh, really, when my firstborn was young, so I was busy, and I really
Amazing.
thrived being self-employed. I
Mm.
always struggled being told what to do, and I never knew why.
really good.
So yeah, that self-employment piece was so good for me because I could express and plan my work,
Mm,
and
Yeah.
I didn't have to be. I worked in a nursery, a daycare, and I was just shocked at the control and shaming that went on by a lot of the teachers to the children. I was horrified.
Mm.
And I remember thinking, I can't do this. I can't do this. So
yeah.
then when I, opened my own program, that was great. And then everything was pretty good. And then I had my second baby at 26, 25, 25, 26. I was in hospital at 25. I got sick. I got preeclampsia.
Ooh.
And it was early. And so then she had to be born 7 weeks early. I was very
Oh,
sick. My organs were not working very well at all. It's got
A
quite
very
serious at
different
the end.
experience to your first pregnancy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and with preeclampsia, you don't really feel sick. It's such a weird thing.
Mm,
I just was swollen, just like
wow.
I couldn't pee. I literally couldn't pee. And they're like, yeah, your kidneys are not working. Um, and then Gracie was born 7 weeks early by induced, a lot of medication. And there's a lot of loss of blood afterwards, and then everything was okay. We went home after a couple of days, and then she got sick about a week after,
mm,
and she spent 4 weeks in and out of the ICU. She stopped breathing a few times, and I spent 4 weeks away from my then child that was just 3. And I
Mm.
just literally had my birthday. Well, I had my birthday in the hospital, and then she was born on Halloween. So I just turned 26, and again back then we have no idea what that does to us. Being taken away from your child, being put
Absolutely.
into survival in a hospital where you're
yeah.
literally in survival mode of like you don't even know if you fed yourself. You know, you're just in existence.
Mm.
And we came out of the hospital. It was about around 4 weeks. It was Christmas the week later. We moved house the week later. I was also in the middle of a house move, and then it was Christmas after that. And then my grandfather died, um, quite close to that, and my mental health just went. Phew.
Wow, that's a lot in a short space of time.
100%. And what you and the trauma your body's gone through as well, not just
Yeah.
mentally and emotionally, like
Hmm.
physically, the trauma. Wow.
And the lack of sleep, like we was for the most part, I was on a ward with babies that kept stopping, that stopped breathing constantly.
Wow.
Alarms would go off
Oh
all
my
night.
God. Mm.
And I've, I've worked on that since, so now I understand where that got planted in my body, that, you know, that
Yeah,
fear and that how it disrupts our nervous system. And
that's
it's
so interesting.
so
Because you would have
dismissed,
been
right? Well,
taking
like,
that on from everyone else, not only your own child and what's going on for you. You've then got this whole room of energy
Mm.
and all the other mothers, and wow, that's just, yeah, that feels traumatizing.
well, and I think we're in. I remember being in the hospital, and my friend coming to see me was just an emotion, so emotional. You know, just trying to hold it together. And she's like, "How are you so strong?" And I remember that. How have you got through this? I was gone. There was
Yeah,
like the lights was on, but there was no one home. I was just, and I remember the nurses at Baby Field's mum, go get your shower. Baby Field needs feeding. Baby Field, mum, go get some food. And
Wow.
that's when I've dropped into the work that we'll get into a bit more.
Mm.
They're the memories. And being alone, like my husband had to work, he had his own
yeah,
business. My 3-year-old, I mean, we was inseparable. Like I worked at home so she could be with me, and then, you know, so not only did it disrupt me, it
Yeah,
left
that
her with some
bond and her,
struggles. So
yeah, her
yeah, she's
abandonment, I suppose, being a
yeah,
3-year-old who was with mum all the time and then suddenly mummy's not there.
yeah, yeah. And then and anyway, that's come up for her as she got older, and you know,
Mm.
thankfully for the with the tools I've got, I could understand a lot of this. But yeah, we just don't realize, and I feel like as mothers, even regular birth without sickness, it's a lot. It's such a big disruption. It's the most magical, beautiful thing. And it's scary as hell.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's like being shaken. So, anyways, that was really the big point that threw me then into really seeking. It's like, okay, now I've got two sets of eyes looking at me, and I need to
yeah.
sort my shit out.
Good for you. I just love that
And
that's the way you went though, because not everyone does. And and you were
mhm,
young, you were still young,
Yeah.
26, right? So
mhm,
yeah,
yeah.
it fascinates me that that's the path you went down, but I think that does happen when you're just looking at like, how can I make this better for these little beings? I just love that you
Uh,
went that way.
yeah, and I knew, like I'd been with my husband was 17 and 18. We was kids, you know, still kids, right? We're still figuring it out in our 40s.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know,
Exactly.
back then
Isn't that the
it
truth?
was, yeah, it is. But I remember feeling I had this immense anger and resentment at him. And I remember the day, I think I threw a nappy at him or something. I remember throwing something just like, I felt so angry. And I know it was because I felt alone going through all what had happened at the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though he was working his butt off because we just bought this big family house and we was young to both have our own businesses. You know, we
Mm.
you couldn't claim as much support having your own business and things anyways. But you know, internally that's what I felt. And then what happened was my grandfather died and my dad then really started to struggle. A lot of his mental health stuff reappeared from what I had forgot that what he'd experienced when I was 3. So there was lots of mirroring going on, reminders to that the nervous system without me even knowing. And
Mm,
that's when I found EFT. And I
Mm.
was fortunate enough to find it through a guy that he was actually a hypnotist and EFT practitioner. And I believe that's why I embodied it the way I did. It's the only way I can, I don't know. I've done EFT training with a lot of different people, and I've found some of it to be really quite surface level.
Mm.
I've done
Mm.
hypnosis with other people and found it to be quite surface level. The blend, how I experience that, and then I guess my understanding of the body and where we store the feel, emotions, and how we store these, the unresolved emotions and how they show up physically. It just, oh, I'll never forget the first session. It was like instantly made sense. It was like this part of my brain was like, yes, this is
Lovely.
what you need. And the other part of my brain's still like, this is weird.
We were talking about this, Marie, weren't we? That would you like to share some EFT with us? Because I've actually done some training within EFT, and it'd be really interesting to see how you do it. Because everyone's got their own flavor, but
Yeah.
having the hypnosis and EFT sort of merged together, it'd be really interesting to see, how you go through the technique
Yeah, and
as
I
opposed to
kind
what
of
I've been
blend it
taught.
in. Yeah, and I mean, there's incredible teachers out there, right? And I believe it's a connection with the person. Whatever
Mm.
you're struggling with, if you've got a connection and they can understand that trauma, that pain, that emotional need to be seen and witnessed, that's the important piece.
So
Because
the
EFT,
beauty is, Maria, you've been through so much trauma. I mean, look at all those strong emotions that you went through at such a young adult, with your children, with your illness, with your dad, with your granddad dying. So do you feel, we talk about life is happening to us or life is happening for us. This has made you such a powerful practitioner that you can, get on that level almost of that person because you've not walked in the same footsteps, but you've walked similar paths to them and you can connect on that level deeper than
Yeah, I
somebody that
feel it's
hasn't.
just having this. I mean, I believe we're all empaths if we choose to be,
Mm.
but having that empathic piece, but also, gosh, over the years, I had to really learn energetic boundaries and not carry everybody's
Gosh,
stuff
yes.
as well. But using it as like, yeah, I mean, I've been through a lot and I'm not going to share everything here. I don't feel the need anymore because I've done so much work around it.
Mm.
It, it I just don't feel the need to like go back into it, but I feel I remember the day when everything sort of clicked and it was like I looked back at my life and I was like, holy
Mm.
crap, I've been in training for this since I
Wow.
was tiny, and this is
Mm.
why I can do what I do. I work with
Yeah.
people with immense trauma, like sexual trauma. I've worked with many mothers that have lost children. I've worked with, which in my opinion is one of the hardest
Mm.
wounds I think we can face. And I've not lost a child, but I've very nearly
True.
lost a child.
Yeah.
And I understand grief in a different aspect of not just the the human being that we lose, but what we lose in grief, how people
Mm.
treat us differently,
Mm.
so it's just really having that ability to connect with the emotions at a deeper root, I guess, and hold
Mm.
space, and also taking your perceptions and judgments out of it. So for me, I'm really big on, I mean, I literally, this is like my daily practice for myself, but it keeps me in a clear, like a clear, um,
Like a clear
what's the word I'm
channel.
looking for? Clear channel, yeah,
Mm.
literally. So that, when I'm sat in a session with someone, because we've all got different beliefs, whether it be religiously, medically,
Yeah.
health, right, all the
Yeah.
things, it's really important to keep that out when we're in session.
And
Beautiful.
Um,
what tools do you use for that, Maria? Because there's so many different ways of doing that. What is it specific to you that you've developed over the amount of time that you've been doing this?
Honestly, EFT is my main go-to with
Interesting.
different somatics and meditation. But just tuning in. And so if I'm triggered by someone's beliefs, say, and my husband's maybe whoever's,
Yeah.
if I'm triggered by their belief and I feel it in my body that where I'm like, ooh, and I've got this need to want to prove that I'm right and they're
Mm.
wrong. I've slowly learned over time. This took me some time, believe me. I'm a Scorpio and I used to just like be in
Same
for the
here, Maria.
chaos.
You're a couple
I'm like, what do
Scorpions.
you mean? What do you mean? Like, and I'd have such a strong knowing that I knew why this was right for me because my intuition is so strong, but I didn't
Mm.
always have the words. And I
Mm.
certainly didn't have the tools to pause before I went into reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very, very shouty, very loud, and very. "Ah." But I've slowly learned over time to pause. For the most part, I'm still human. I still have my
Right.
moments, obviously, with my loved ones. Um, and I just act like, oh, why am I triggered? I get curious, like, why is this triggering me?
Mm.
Why am I so irritated by this? Number one was usually always where, because I felt like my husband, he's not listening to me. He's not hearing me. I'm not heard. You don't understand me. You don't understand why I'm so passionate about this. I'm not heard, which as a human need, that's our number one, right? We all want to be
Yeah.
seen, heard, and understood.
Mhm.
And so I just slowly was like, okay, why am I acting like this? And then I'd tap, like, why did that literally tap through it, which we'll get into, but
Yeah.
asking, like, even though I'm feeling so triggered right now, I am open to changing that story and dissolving this, like taking the charge out of it, because
Very
Yeah.
nice.
I could be quite aggressive in my vocabulary.
That's the thing though, isn't it, Maria? Like it's having that awareness because so many people, myself included, get triggered and just fly off the handle without actually pausing and just questioning, where's this come from? Why am I feeling like this? And some people don't even know that they're feeling disruption in
No.
their body. So for somebody that's like, well, that's all very well, but how do I know when I'm being triggered?
Mm.
Like what advice could you give them, Maria?
Well, simple is slow the breath down, right? Take
Mm,
a few deep breaths. Just taking a breath in through the nose and actually sighing, like, like get back into the body. Because most of
yeah.
us don't even breathe properly.
Most
We
people
don't even have
don't
enough
do it.
oxygen in
We're such
ourselves.
shallow breathers, aren't we?
We don't get taught this, right? We don't
No.
learn it, and we
Don't
don't
get
learn
told
that,
at
the
all.
more oxygen we can get in, how that helps with like physical disease and everything, right?
Mm.
Brain fog, all of it. So
Hmm.
first thing, yeah, just take a couple of deep breaths and just pause and making it a regular thing. So if you drive a lot, every time there's a red light, take a few deep
Mm.
breaths. Every time you
I
go to the
really,
bathroom, take a pause and, a few deep breaths.
I
So just
Mm,
really like
starting
that.
relatively simple.
I really like that. And I also suggest sometimes to clients if they really can't like set an alarm on your phone
Yeah.
mm.
and just and make it a thing. And so I teach Pilates and I've been doing Pilates now for 15 years. I have to think about
Is it
that for a second.
15 years?
Yeah.
I
Is it 15 or is
remember
it?
when you
Oh
started
no,
that.
hang on, what are we 25? No, it's 10, I've been qualified 10 years. So
Goodness,
yeah.
I remember when you started that. Yeah.
I know, darling. And now my instant response to stress is a deep breath. And often it tells me I'm stressed. Now, 'cause I'm like,
Mm.
oh, what I must be stressed about something because I've just taken a deep breath. So that's
Yeah.
kind of but it took a really long time for that to be
Mm,
like a response. And it was definitely something that I've had to program into myself, but it
yeah.
is doable. It just takes a while and you just have to just, like you say, keep repeating it. And I love that. Like every time you go to the loo, even take 3 deep breaths, like something that you're going to do every day a few times
Yeah, it's
a
creating
day.
that habit,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really,
And
I
that new
really like
neural
that.
pathway in your brain that's,
I really like that.
just so that when it does happen, you automatically do it. But that it takes that practice, doesn't it? Like you
Yeah.
say, sometimes 10 years. Keep practicing, people. You'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah. And humming is a big one. Do you
Mm,
know, like, when we hum, our nervous
yeah.
system has a real hard time of being in that state of fight and flight. So we're working with that, the vagus nerve, and when we hum, again taking a big breath in and just hum. And yeah, it's quite funny. I'll say to my husband if he's a bit antsy, "Do not come home until you've done your humming,"
I love that.
and he'll send me a humming reminder. Like, don't tell anyone.
Oh,
But
that's
it
too cute.
works.
It's
It
too
works.
cute. I'm just getting into the humming because I really love chanting and like Kundalini yoga and all that sort of thing. But the humming and there's a really nice one where you put your fingers in your ears. I think it's bee breath, and yeah, I've had a client do that recently, and her partner was like, "What on earth are they doing?" But it really and it's the vibration and it takes you really into your body and
You really
yeah,
feel
I'm
it.
you do and it
You
dissipates
know?
stuff. And I'm going to start doing that more. So,
Mm,
and I don't care where I am when I do this stuff now. I will tap in the supermarket if I need to,
Absolutely.
right? So I'm just going to be
yeah.
walking and humming. I'm going to take that one.
Mm.
Got humming in the
Because this is the
car,
thing
right?
is,
Most of us are in a car, or we can go in the bathroom. So like going from that
Yeah,
deep breath to then like a hum, and it's just these little pieces. And I guess that comes back to my many years of working with children. I'd always be doing like animal sounds, and I didn't realize. And then other teachers would say to me, "How have you got the kids all so chill?" I'm like, "We're doing bee breath," and
without knowing it.
I didn't really connect it with breath work back then,
No.
but their little bodies change so quickly.
Yeah.
Their nervous systems, it's very different to us they don't have all the years and years of
They're so open, aren't
baggage
they? They're
and
just open.
yeah, and unhealthy, cycles and the resistance to the
Yeah.
coping strategies. So they
Mm.
they shift very quick. But yeah, humming is humming is my new, I guess, newer thing. And then yeah, tapping. Why I love tapping so much is EFT. There's a couple of techniques, but I found all of this stuff got a lot easier for my daily practice after actually working with a practitioner because
Yeah.
I needed that co-regulation. I needed, for one, I didn't really have the skill to take myself fully in deeper with it.
yeah,
I learned that with someone. And, it's really important to have that safety container, someone who
Yeah.
is trauma informed, who does understand if something comes up, because we hold so much in the body. And the last thing we want to do is then stuff it down because then we just keep cycling. So
And
that
that's what I
was,
was going to say, these people that get triggered and then it's like, like gulp it down and push it down and not voice it. That's all dis-ease in your body. And it's like a jack in the box that's going to
it
pop up
is.
when you least expect it, normally at the most inappropriate times, that trauma that you push down then comes out and exposes itself in the most violent and disruptive ways. Sam?
and that's yeah. Also, like with you're saying that you practice your own EFT as part of your routine, and something that I think is really important, and just finding a small amount of time in your day to do this because everyone generally has very busy lives, but just that daily practice
Yeah.
of a little release each day is going to regulate your nervous system. So when you do get triggered, it's going to be less impactful because you've been doing that practice and really helping your
Reeled
nervous
in.
system out. That
Mm.
feels really
Yeah.
important to me.
And if you start small, right? If you think about, if we 1% a day is
Yeah.
30% a month of
Yeah.
change.
Yes,
If you
lovely.
do that 1% twice a week, right, you're still moving the needle forward.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I find that, once it clicks and you realize how different you feel when you do regulate your nervous system, when you
Yeah.
do have balance,
You're going to
you
want to
miss
do
it.
more of that.
You miss it. Yeah, you're like, I don't
Yeah.
want to feel this heat anymore. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, why am I triggered? And it's not that, we're humans, right? Gosh, I have my moments. And sometimes people are just assholes. People say
Sometimes they
things
just
and
are
they just
actually.
project, they
And
are.
you need to
Sometimes they just
vent.
are. It's not always
Yeah.
about us, but how we respond to that, we can't change others.
No.
We
No.
can't. And I find the more balanced I am in that space, I can pause, and instead of thinking, say, someone's projecting at me, it's almost like you become an observer, and I feel like I'm stepping further back, being this observer and looking and going, oh, and then I can come in and say, do you just need to vent? Or do you want my advice? Instead of
Yeah.
going,
Mm.
well, if you hadn't have done this and this and this, you wouldn't be feeling like this. Whereas now, that was a big thing with my kids, especially my very strong vocal child. And I didn't see it at the time when she was younger. She had so much to say and so many big feelings. Like, she's an incredible musician and
Mm.
performer, and of course her throat was her strength. But when she
Mm.
was younger, oh, there was so much emotion, and I didn't know what to do with it. I used to just want to try and fix. I wanted to
Yeah.
like just shut the noise down because it was uncomfortable for me, because it
Mm.
was mirroring a lot of my own stuff, what I was feeling. And then the more and more I got into this practice and emptied my own emotional pot from all the unresolved stuff, I could hold space and go,
That's lovely.
do you just need to vent? And now she's great. Like, she'll sometimes call me. She don't live at home anymore, and and I need to tell you this. And I'm like, well, do you think you could maybe do this? No, mom, I just needed to vent. And she just tells me, I'm like, okay, okay, thank you.
Lovely.
Great, we're
Well,
good.
that's lovely that, rather than just going in to save, what do you
Yes,
need? Do you do you just need to vent, or can I help you with this? And I think
because
that's
that's
really beautiful,
exhausting.
giving her the choice rather than you being a mum going in to fix it and giving her advice when she's not in a place to hear the advice. She just needs to
Get it out and
get it out.
express,
Yeah.
right?
And just have it
And
heard,
same,
like we were saying before
Yes.
about being heard and seen and all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
And I love what you're saying about being the
yeah,
observer, but also
Mm.
but sometimes people are just being arseholes. and
they
and
are.
having those boundaries as well. It's like, am I triggered because of this? Or actually, do you know what, back off. This is my space and you're intruding, and not in a like triggered "Ugh," kind of shout at you way, but just, yeah, no, I'm not
Mm.
going to accept
Yeah,
that right
it,
now.
yeah, and I guess something else that's helped me is, when people are being really aggressive. I mean, we've seen a lot of division in the world the last 5 years, a lot of opinions, a lot of I'm right, you're wrong, aggression. And, at the end of the day, it all comes from hurt inside, that pain inside. But um, I kind of see it as like forgiving the human condition because it's not
Mm.
easy to be a human. It's not
It's
easy
not
to
that
learn
easy,
new
is it, guys?
Surf
things.
school sucks sometimes, doesn't it? Let's
It
face it.
does. It's hard. And so you know, not forgiving the human for being hard, abusive. It's not that. It's not forgiving the act of abuse or pain or suffering, but more just like forgiveness for the human condition.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, wow, like we really have not been taught how to handle ourselves very well, how to
And
handle our
especially
emotions.
And especially Maria, I mean, look at the conditioning that's been going on over the last 5 years, with COVID and
Ugh,
like majority of people sit back and they watch the news and they believe what the news is telling them. And, so I mean, it's called a news program. It's for a reason, it's
mm-hmm.
programming you the way to think. So, it's having that empathy for people that have been just literally absorbing everything that has been told to them. And, we've gone through that emotion of, like, why are people not listening to us? We're trying to help them, like wake up to what's been going on. But it's almost forgiving them and for it's not their fault. It's the big machine that has been programming them to think that way, and that's why they're acting this way. That's why this divide is being created.
It's all man-made. Even the political stuff now playing out. It's being in Canada, we get a lot of the US stuff, which, as I think most countries, they're really known for this blue and red divide, and it can be
Mm.
really quite extreme in the Western world. And it's all when you can step back and see a bigger picture, it's just
Yeah.
turning people against each other. And when we're divided, we're
When there's
weak.
fear,
We're distracted. We're not
yeah.
looking at the real thing. And we're out of our power. We're disconnected
Mm.
from ourselves, more
Mhm.
importantly, because we're too busy looking at what's going on and what everyone else is saying and doing. And we're disconnected from ourselves and who we are and what we are actually like really do believe at our core.
Yeah,
What we
absolutely.
know to be true, because we all know if we can shut the noise out, we all know what feels right. But the
Mhm.
Yeah.
ego, our ego likes to keep us, in that safety bubble, somewhat in the fear state. Well, who am I if this stuff I've been saying, all these things I've been doing are wrong? And people
Yeah.
don't want to feel that. People don't want to
There's
feel
that.
like the shame and the guilt because that's the
Yeah.
lowest, frequency of vibration. And it's just funny because I have this on my desk here, but I don't know if you're familiar with like the map of consciousness.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. When you've got fear right at the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, and we've got literally shame and
Mm.
humiliation right at the bottom. People don't want to feel like they made the wrong decision, right? That their beliefs are wrong, that they've maybe trained in a career and now they're learning that, oh, we've not been told the full truth.
That's
I've
not
just been
quite
lied to
right.
my whole life. What's the
Yeah.
truth? And
And I
walking
Yeah.
through this unknown.
It's been really amplified the last 4 or 5 years, but I think this has been going on for a very
Oh,
long
forever.
time.
Oh
And
yeah.
and so and just going back to what you were saying about talking therapy for yourself and how that was
Mhm.
helpful in some ways, but not all. It's the somatic stuff for me that I think really helps with this because it helps move the emotions through the body
Yeah.
in a much safer way for me. That's what I think because I was when I started Pilates, it was for an injury. I had no idea that it was going to
Mhm.
take me on a whole spiritual journey and change career and move into a completely different way of living. But breath and movement, when I got into my body, everything changed. I didn't know
Mhm.
that was going to happen. But it's
But
it's
you're
good.
not, sorry, Sam, go on.
No, go on, my love.
No, what I just was going to say, with talk therapy, going into the story, with the movement, somatic work, you don't need to be regurgitating that story that possibly isn't true because what our brain is now telling a story from back when we were a child, we're a whole different person. So that actually is that story that we're telling ourselves. Is that actually true anyway from the the person that we're sharing the story now? So, Sam, you're talking about, going into Pilates and actually not realizing where this would take me.
Mm.
It's just cutting out that whole story. EFT is cutting out that whole story behind it and just allowing energy to move through your body and release.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And it's, we don't have to get into the every detail. In fact, I shut people down in a very respectful, loving
Mm.
manner because people will repeat themselves because everybody wants to be heard. But
Yeah.
when they've told me the story, the pieces that they need, and then I catch them and they're in it. And this is the part of really like the title of, thinking our way forward over
Yeah.
feeling our way forward. Because
Yeah.
when we're regurgitating the same story, of course, there's a power in sharing our truth and our words being heard, absolutely. But when we're just going over the same thing, it's exhausting. You just get
You're going
stuck in
over
a
the same
loop.
thing, but then you're exasperating parts of the
Hmm.
story. It's becoming this big monster, isn't it? Rather than
Yeah,
mm,
And
it
also your neural
is.
pathways, you're just reestablishing that time and time again with too much talking is
yeah,
what I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
and Kirsty, you're exactly right. Like the belief piece. So where this, like, this pain and suffering is happening, like, say if someone's, you know, really got this belief around, I don't know, let's just say public speaking as something quite simple, but holds so many people back. I was terrified of public speaking, terrified. I'd go bright red, couldn't even say my name. Oh, it was just, yeah, awful. Um, and where did that get created from for me? When I was about 7 years old, when someone pointed something out and was laughing at me, and I felt humiliated, and I turned
mm,
red for the first time, blushed. And
Mm.
then it was reinforced in school when you have to
Yeah.
stand up and read your work out, and I'd be like, that feeling in my body was there. So then I created a story of, oh, I'm not a public speaker.
yeah,
I'm not a
Mm.
speaker. I'm not a leader. I don't talk like these. Then move countries and have an accent. That brings up a whole a whole other load of speaking
yeah,
beliefs, And it's so interesting. And then people would say to me, "Oh, I could just listen to your accent all day. I feel like you draw a room because of your accent." And I'd think, "Oh my goodness, like what do you mean?" Because
yeah.
I still had this, old belief going, even though
Mm,
I'd got better. And it wasn't until I had to work on that.
Mm.
And now I mean, I still get a little bit nervous when I have to get up and speak in big rooms of people, but I just connect with the body. And
Yeah.
because it is EFT, I'm usually getting people to get into their body and close their eyes. So
Right.
it's quite a nice, you know, transition in. But yeah, it's fascinating. So if we don't update these beliefs, I always say we're like a computer. So from birth to 7 is when
yeah,
most of our core foundational programming is
Yeah.
built. So like think of it as a computer, a
yeah.
phone. How many times do we get these? You need to upgrade your computer, you need to upgrade your phone so it'll work up full speed. We have to do the same
I
with
Hmm.
like
our
that.
beliefs. And if we don't, we're exactly, living or
You're
trying to
living as that
live.
7-year-old in this adult body, aren't you? Really?
Yeah. And then worst of all, we're parenting our kids from beliefs that we received when we were 7.
Yeah.
You know, we're what, 30, 40 years on, and the kids are like, this is not my language. Because that's my kids. Like, you need
Absolutely.
to sort yourself out. You
Yeah.
know, this makes no sense. Yeah, it's really quite fascinating. So EFT is, a huge piece of that. Like, it literally rewires those
It's really
beliefs.
amazing.
And at a soul core level, like in the body,
It's
in that
in the body, definitely.
subconscious state.
So, can you
Um,
just give us a little bit of background on what EFT actually is?
Yeah, yeah. So EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, and it's an energy psychology is what it's known as, and it fits under that umbrella of somatic therapy. So
Hmm.
somatic is basically connecting, the mind and the body working with the body,
Yeah.
not just talking. It was discovered, gosh, many moons ago. I want to say 30, 35 years now, I think. Through war veterans, war people who'd fought in the war, and they learned that it worked so well with PTSD.
Mm.
And now it's very exciting. Even on our hospital medical website, there is EFT as a tool.
Wow.
Just in the last, I believe, 2 years, it's been rolled out in some universities through different psychology training
That's
in
great.
Australia. I'm not quite sure about here, probably not. um,
Work in progress.
yeah, yeah. So it's really become known
Mm.
more and more. And again, I think as all these modalities get more attention, they all connect. They
They
all
Mm.
do.
connect. It, I blend a lot of my work with IFS, which is internal family systems, which in a nutshell is accepting all parts of us,
Mm.
not
Nice.
making this shame or humiliation that we're holding on to wrong. Like just accepting it, giving it a voice, feeling it, and letting it move through.
Yeah.
It's
Lovely.
really bringing these shadow pieces of us that feel heavy and hard, bringing them all into the light, really, into that oneness, that wholeness of who we are. Because
Mm.
nobody's broken or damaged, and I find that a lot of the regular talk therapy is very much centered around the problem, like you're the
Yeah.
problem, and nobody's broken. They're
Yeah.
not. You know,
So, Maria,
it's
I'm just very conscious of time. Could you take
yeah,
us through um, a quick EFT sort of,
yeah,
don't know
I
what
would
the word
love to.
is, practice?
Yeah. And what we were talking about earlier, actually, before we came on, we were talking about the feelings of uncertainty in the world, um,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe feeling a bit like stuck and stagnant. So do we think that that would be a really good place to sort of take
Yeah,
this?
yes, yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. So I can
Exciting.
walk you through. How long have
Can
I
I-
got?
yeah, take as long as you want, Dan. I don't want to rush you. We're
Okay. Okay.
how
Well, I
how
won't
how
do,
would it normally be? Yeah.
yeah, I won't do a full, obviously. And the thing with the EFT, it's fabulous in a group. I've done
Mm.
many, many group sessions. I do them regularly. And then obviously one on one, when you're in that private
Yeah.
space, you go deeper.
Go
You're more
deeper, can't
It's
open.
you?
It's
very
just
different, isn't
naturally,
it?
Yeah.
So why
yeah.
don't we do like so it's accessible for everyone and it doesn't go like too deep? What would
Mm.
hmm
that look like? So like a group setting, is that like 15 minutes or is
Yeah.
there a sort of set kind of time for that or how does that
Yeah,
work?
10 to 15 minutes. We'll see what
See
sort of
what
unravels because you
unfolds. Great.
ladies
And
are
then
going
I
to
think that's
be
just really easy
making
for
that
people.
route.
Lovely. I think that's really easy for people to do at home as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And
Mm.
just I like to always mention, healing's not linear.
Mm.
It's like unraveling a ball of yarn.
Mhm.
And so, because people think, oh, I'm just going like this. I'm just climbing the ladders. Everything's going to be good. It's not. It's this. It's literally like this. And the way
Bloody
I
messy as
explain it
well.
is, sorry,
It's messy as well. Not
it's
only
messy as
twists and
hell.
turns, it's messy, it's emotional. Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people, I believe, don't want to go there because they think, oh, I
Mm.
don't want to open that can of worms. So they stuff it
Yeah.
down. Or they might peep, and then they're like, I'll stuff it down. But I think this is again why I love EFT so much is it's such a powerful, quick tool to
Yeah.
actually acknowledge the issue, be open to how you can change it, and then bring in a change. So if we remove a limiting belief, like something that we're really stuck in, and what tends to happen if we don't replace it with something that we want to feel, we'll naturally cling on to something similar to what was originally there.
Yeah.
It's
Mm.
like addictions, you know? Oh, I'll give up smoking, but now I'm stuffing my face with chocolate or
Yeah.
sugar because they've not got to the root of why there was avoiding. I mean, most addictions are there are people are avoiding feeling something and eating
100%.
or drinking something or picking. I was a skin picker was a big thing for me, as well as sugar and lots of things. But it wasn't until I got to the root of why I did it that it fully
Mm.
changed.
Yeah.
So it's important. That's the piece with EFT is that as we're shifting some charge out, that we're
Putting
replacing
good
it with
stuff in.
something that's higher frequency,
Yeah.
the direction of where we want to go,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, is important. And yeah, it's thinking of like a ball of yarn, and we may go through a stage where we're like, we're good, and then you hit it, there's a knot, and we can feel in that moment that we're back on the ground,
Yeah.
and just in that fetal position of like, what the hell is going on, like
Mm.
dark night of the soul. And we're not, there's just a bit more to do. And then you unravel that knot, and then you're breaking through to other layers. And often those breakdown moments are like the true breakthrough moments.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally
So,
agree.
this stuff it's not linear, and I think that's really important. There's too many people who like to, oh, come do this program and you'll be a brand new human. We're all different.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I
So,
love that. I
yeah,
like the
so
yarn.
just as long as you're comfortable, just need two hands free.
Very
And
comfy.
with EFT, it's like Simon says. So you just follow along. You repeat the words after me. And if I have a word that I'm speaking and you've got something literally on the tip of your tongue that you want to say different, I want you to speak it.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
what we don't want is you to hold the words in, because this is all about, being seen and heard and
Yeah.
hearing yourself more importantly. Yeah, so I'll walk you through. So when you're ready, I just encourage you to take a big breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And closing your eyes if you feel comfortable to do so. I'm finding a rhythm that feels good to you with your breath. So ideally breathing in through the nose for a count of 3 or 4 and out through the mouth for a count of 6 or 8. Making that exhale longer than the inhale is another signal to the nervous system to help it to feel more safe. Safe to feel and just be in the body. So many of us don't want to be in our body because it doesn't feel good. So it's easier to be in the head. It's easy to be looking for food and drink and sabotaging habits to take us away. And just with each breath in, breathing in a bit more trust and belief in yourself. And exhaling any doubt, tension. With each breath in, feeling the oxygen coming deeper into the body, into the belly. And letting any stagnant emotions, stories, beliefs, anything that's outdated, just giving them permission to rise up and leave with that exhale breath, to make space for what you do want to feel. And as you continue to breathe, I'm going to invite you to imagine a bright white light coming down over the crown of the head. And this light is just a symbol of no judgment, no expectations, and an extra place of safety. And this light comes down over the crown of the head, around the back of the head, over the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks and the mouth, the ears, the jaw. And just noticing at the jaw, we tend to hold a lot of tension at the jaw. The mouth might want to move, it might want to yawn. Just let the body do what it feels comfortable with. And yawning is the best sign when we do EFT. It means the nervous system is relaxing. So don't try and hold anything in. Sometimes tears just start to come and we have no idea why. And it's just all a sign that the body's coming back into some balance. And this light comes down over the throat, over the shoulders, and it runs right down the arms to the elbows, right down to the wrists and the hands, to the very ends of the fingers. And just focusing on the hands for a moment, just intentionally letting them open, letting them loosen the grip of any outdated beliefs, unresolved emotions, pain or suffering. It's giving them permission to open and be curious if you can let some of that go. And this might be habits, beliefs, stories that were even yours. You might have picked them up from the world around you, from the generations before. And some of these things might have kept you safe for a time. A lot of these, habits and beliefs that we take on, we've needed them. We've needed them to help keep us safe. Which ones are outdated now? Which ones need an upgrade? Just giving them permission to go. Giving them permission to be open. And this light comes down over the throat, over the chest, the breasts, the belly, the sacral, runs down the back, the top of the neck, down the spine, right down to the tailbone. Feeling your buttocks on the chair, just feeling yourself supported and held right now in this moment, feeling the safety of where you are. And this light travels into the thighs, the front and the back, the knees, the calves and the shins, right down to the ankles and the feet. Feeling your feet on the floor, feeling that connection to the earth, to something bigger than just you. And while you're in this bubble of light, I'm going to ask you, ladies, to just scan your body from the top of the head right down and just noticing in the body, is there any whispers? Is there any tension, tightness? Is there any area of your body that is jumping out? And if you notice an area that's speaking to you, I'm going to ask you to give it a number in your mind's eye from 1 to 10. 10 being strongest, 1 being tiny. And just give it the attention that it's asking for. Is there any colours that's associated with it? Any words to describe it? Emotions? And how big does it feel? Does it feel like it's taking up a lot of space? Does it feel like the size of a coin? A football? Just really tuning in to what your body's trying to tell you. Because our body's always speaking to us. And when we can get out of our head and into the body, we can hear it. And it takes some practice, but this is a really great place to start. And while you're in this light, we're going to ask that if there's any negative energies around, that they go home, they're not welcome. We just want to work with energies in the highest form of of unconditional love to move us forward. I'm going to ask the subconscious part of the mind and the body to help us in this next part of the session. And the thinking mind, the ego mind that likes to tell us all the stories where we're not good enough or we're not doing enough, to just step back. And if you'd like to just slowly flicker your eyes open, just so you can watch where to tap if you're a bit unsure, I'll guide you through. And then you might, if you get it, you can do this with your eyes closed. I recommend if anyone's listening to, maybe watch it first and then do your best to. I find people connect more within if they can do it with their eyes closed. But does anyone want to share if you felt a sensation anywhere in the body? And if you had a number?
Go, Kirst.
No, go on, Sam.
Head tension, all starting in the left side, and then it's
Okay.
here as well.
And what number would you give it, 10 being strongest?
That was a 7. I was having a shooting little pain in the left-hand side.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
How about you, Kirsty?
So mine was in my heart. It's always in my heart. And it was like this dark purple, greyish colour, size of a football, just really heavy. And it was an 8, a
Okay,
really strong 8.
okay, okay. Okay, so we will, and obviously one on one, we delve into those details a little bit
Yeah.
more, but we also sometimes don't need to.
Yeah,
Sometimes we don't need to know why. We just need the charge to be less than.
Yeah.
But we don't want to bypass it because there's so much bypassing that goes on in the healing space of, affirmations. Affirmations are great to a degree, but if
yeah,
you're not acknowledging what's really there and you're just trying to put the positive word in it, you just
doesn't
end up in
work.
that loop. Whereas
Mm.
EFT, we use affirmations, but we acknowledge what we're feeling first.
Yeah, it's
And that's
great.
the piece. So when you're ready, we start
Oh,
tapping on the side of the hand. So this is, but just trust me, there's method in the madness. Oh, is my internet frozen?
We've got you back.
Okay, good.
You're good.
Okay, so yeah, on the side of the hand, and we start with the words, the setup phrases,
living room.
Even
even
though,
though I'm feeling this tension
even though I'm feeling this tension
in my head and my heart,
in my head,
My head and my heart.
that's okay.
that's
That's
okay.
okay.
I'm giving this a voice
I'm giving this a voice
and I'm listening to my body.
and
And
I'm
I'm listening.
listening to my body.
And I'm curious what it's trying to tell me,
And I'm curious as to what it's trying to tell me.
but I know I don't need to know everything.
But I
I know,
know I don't need to know everything.
And I love and accept
And
and I
I
love
love and accept
all parts of me.
all
all
parts of
parts
me.
of me.
And even though
Even
Even
though
though
the last few years have been really heavy,
the
the
last
last few years have been really heavy,
there's been so much division,
there's been so much
so much
division,
vision.
so much distraction,
so much distraction.
and that's okay.
And
And
that's
that's okay.
I'm giving this all a voice
I'm giving this all a voice
because it's all valid.
because it's all valid.
And I love and accept
and
And
I
I
love and
love and accept
all parts of me.
all parts of me.
And even though
And
even
even
though
though
I want to believe that we're moving forward,
I
I
want to
want to
believe that
believe
we're moving
really
forward,
there's a part of me
there's a
there's a
part
part of me
that's tired,
that's tired,
tired of seeing the same old stuff,
tired of seeing the same old stuff,
the hate and the division,
the hate and the division,
the uncertainty.
the uncertainty.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
And that's okay. I'm giving it a voice.
and
And
that's
that's
okay. I'm giving it a voice,
And I love and accept all parts of me.
and I
and
love and accept all parts of me,
I'm going to the top of the head, feeling this tension in my body.
even
feeling
though there's tension in my body.
I'm listening to this tension in my body.
I'm listening to this tension in my body.
Top of the eyebrows. I can feel this heaviness.
I
I
can
can
feel
feel
this
this.
heaviness.
Side of the eyes. I can feel it in my sort of head or heart.
I
I
can
can
feel it
feel
in
it
my
in my
heart.
head.
Under the eyes. It feels heavy and exhausting.
It
Feels
feels
heavy and
heavy and
exhausting.
exhausting.
Under the nose. It feels like it's been there a long time.
Feels
Feels
like
like it's been there a long time.
Under the lips. It feels discouraging.
It
it
feels
feels
discouraging.
Collarbone points to see all this noise in the world again creeping back in.
See all
the
this
world.
noise in the world creeping back in.
And then under the arms, so kind of like side of the bra strap, all this uncertainty.
All this uncertainty.
And then under the ribs, so just here, that's like our spleen point. If you like, it can feel a little bit tender. Um, Feeling this loss of direction.
Feeling
Feeling
this loss of direction.
Wrist bone points, this lack of trust
This lack of trust
in the so-called leadership of the world.
in the
this.
so-called leadership of the world.
Top of the head. Feeling this heaviness within.
Feeling this
Feeling
heaviness within.
Top of the eyebrows, this stagnant feeling.
This
this
stagnant feeling.
Side of the eyes, I'm sick of feeling stuck.
I'm sick of feeling stuck.
Under the eyes, it feels so heavy.
It
it
feels so heavy,
Under the nose, like I've been weighed down.
like I've
feels
been
like
weighed
I've been
down.
Under the lips, I'm sick of holding it in my body.
I'm sick
sick
of
of
holding it in my body.
Collarbone points, it feels like a grief.
It feels
feels
like a
like
grief.
And then just take a big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Head and the heart area, and noticing, does the number feel like it's gone up or gone down? Or does it feel the
down.
same?
100% down. So much lighter.
And how about you, Sam?
Definitely gone down. And when I'm not quite sure where we were, but when I said when we said for I think the second or third time, I'm sick of feeling this in the body. My shoulders just went poof. Really nice. It was
So
really. It's like,
good.
oh yeah, that's nice.
So good. So what number would you say now, Kirsty?
I'd say a 5.
Okay. And how about you, Sam?
4.
Okay. So 7 to a
Deep
4, 8
on
to a
from
5.
it.
That's good because and that was I'm doing this obviously a bit shorter and a
I mean,
bit
that's
more
literally 2
broad.
cycles. Not
Yeah.
even.
Yeah. So the first round with EFT is we acknowledge the problem. So if we really want to get into it, we can really have a total bitch fest about the problem.
Nice.
The person of like, oh my God, even though this person has been a complete and utter blah, 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 blah.
Mm,
I hate that they do this. Why do they do this? It's okay. I'm giving this all a voice and I love and accept all parts of me. And then
mm,
I feeling really angry. Why is this person doing this? Can they not see how they are hurting others? Why can't they see their struggle? So really giving it a voice, it makes me so angry. And sometimes that number will rise when we really get stuck in.
mm,
Interesting.
And that's okay. That's because it's been
Yeah.
heard, it's rising. And
mm,
then the second round, so I walked you guys through like a very brief first round of just acknowledging. The second round, what we're going to do is like bridging the gap.
mm.
So we'll start on the side of the hand and we'll say, even though
Even
Even
though
though
the world has been extra heavy again.
the
the
world
world has
has been
been
extra heavy
heavy,
again,
Almost feels like we've gone back to the start of COVID times.
almost feels
almost
like we've gone back to the start of COVID times.
It feels like there's always something,
It
feels
feels
like
like
there's
there's always
always
something,
something.
and it's exhausting.
and it's
And
exhausting.
But I am open
but I am
I am
open
open
to the possibility
to the possibility
that this all feels extra loud right now
that this feels
all
all extra loud
around
right now.
right now.
because change is happening behind the scenes.
Because change is happening behind the scenes.
And I love and accept
And I
And I
love and accept
all parts of me.
all parts of me.
And even though this is hard
And even
and
though this
even
is hard
and it feels uncertain,
and it
and
feels
it
uncertain,
I'm open to the possibility
I'm open to the possibility
that there are more good people on this earth
that there are more good people on this earth
making change than not.
making
And,
change than not.
And I love and accept all parts of me.
And
and
I
I love
love
and
and
accept
accept all
all
parts of
parts
me.
of me.
And even though I may feel this division in the world around me,
Even though I may feel this division in the world around me,
it's my, it gives me an opportunity
it
It
gives me
gives
an
me
opportunity
to see where I can connect more within,
to
mm, to
see where I
see
can
how I
connect more
connect
with
more
you,
within,
to see where I can connect more with my loved ones in my community.
to
to see
see
where
how
I
I
can
can connect more with my loved ones in my community.
And I love and accept all parts of me
And
and
I
I
love
love and accept
that
all
all
parts of
parts of
me.
me
as I open to this.
as I
And
open to this.
And I'll go to the top of the head, even though I don't know exactly what the future looks like.
Even though I don't know exactly what the
what the
future
future
looks
looks
like.
like.
Top of the eyebrows, and we never know what's gonna come out in the news.
And we never
We
know
never
what's
know
going to
what's
come
going to
out in
come
the
out.
news.
You know,
Side of the eyes, it feels like we're watching a crazy movie.
It's
feels like we're
when we're
watching
watching a
a crazy
crazy
movie.
movie.
Under the eyes. But what if
But what if
What if
change is happening?
change
change
is
is
happening?
happening?
Under the nose, what if this is all extra loud right now?
What
What
if
if this
this
is
is all
all
extra loud
extra
right now?
loud
Under the lips, because it's breaking down.
because it's
Or if it's
breaking
breaking
down?
down?
Collarbone points. Because the old systems that don't work,
Because the old
Because
systems don't work.
what if they are crumbling behind the scenes?
What if
what if
they are crumbling behind the scenes
And change is happening.
and
and
change is happening?
Under the arms, I'm choosing that that's a big possibility.
I'm choosing that that's a big possibility.
Under the ribs, I'm choosing to surround myself
I'm
I'm choosing
choosing to surround myself
and be open to meeting more people.
and be
yeah
open to eating more people
Wristbone points who see and believe that too.
who see and believe that too.
Top of the head. And I don't need to know exactly what that looks like.
And I don't need to know exactly what that looks like
Top of the eyebrows, because I'm trusting myself more and more now.
because I'm
because I'm
trusting
trusting
myself more and more now.
Side of the eyes, and I'm feeling that deeper connection within.
And I'm feeling that deeper connection within.
Under the eyes, I'm sorry for all the ways
I'm sorry for all the ways
that I've doubted myself.
that I've doubted myself,
Under the nose, for all the ways that I've not acknowledged how hard it's been the last few years.
for
for
all
all
the
the
ways.
ways I've not acknowledged how hard it's been over the years.
Under the lips, please forgive me.
Please
Please
forgive me.
forgive me.
Collarbone points, I love you, and say your
Uh,
name.
I love you, Sam.
I love you, Kirsty.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you, thank you, thank you.
And then take a big breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And then just scanning the body again, just coming back to the body. And just noticing just what number, or does the number feel like it's come down anymore? Or
Yeah,
goes
mine's a
up?
2. It's a 2 in the
What?
head.
2 in the head.
Mm.
Fantastic. And how about you, Kirsty?
3 in the heart, and it's a little bit shiny.
Love it.
Oh,
Love
too
it.
cute.
So you see how quick that is? That's literally not even 20 minutes. So I just,
Yeah,
Mm,
the little meditation piece that I do in the beginning, I feel for me that's like really helps people drop in
yeah.
yeah.
as well and really connect with the body. And then we're gonna do a last round. But what do you want to feel more of? So we've spoke about like we don't want all this
Joy.
doubt and
Yeah, I
uncertainty
was
and
just about to say,
division.
myself and Sam have been talking about this. How do we find joy in this
Yeah.
world we're living in? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's new. It's got to be, it's a different way of living.
Mm,
The old joys
Mm.
aren't joyful anymore, if that makes sense.
And what was the old joy? I know for me, like alcohol. It was like, oh, let's go and have a
Partying.
drink.
Yeah,
That
all
don't
that
seem to
sort of
cut it
thing.
much anymore.
And even just comedy, like old comedy shows or things that used to be relaxing are now kind of annoying. So because we see them in a different way, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, like going out to the pub with your friends. I mean, now, I mean, not that I really go out, but just the energy in the pubs these days. Again, like I say, not that I'm really going out, but I don't want to be in that energy because I'm so
Yeah.
aware of energies now and alcohol numbing, so yeah.
It's just it's finding joy for me
What are you
and
doing?
laughter and actually like belly laughing so you're not like to actually just let go of everything that we're kind of
Mm,
holding, I guess.
And it's finding like what I've found. I mean, gosh, I don't drink nowhere near like I used to at all. But also, the more I've learned to trust my body, if I want to have a cocktail at odd time, I'm doing it because I want it, because I'm
Mm.
interested in the flavors, and if it goes with the food, it's coming from a very different place from where it
yeah.
used to. And I've
Right.
found that with different, friendship groups who are very in tune with this work and they've done a lot of the work, it's just different. It's
Yeah.
just
Mm,
different. But also, the more I've learned to protect my own energy, I can still be around people who choose to drink because that's their
Yeah.
mm,
choice. Um, I don't feel as triggered by it like I used to
mm,
because I had a lot of old fears and perceptions and wounds from that. But
Mm.
now I don't. And it's interesting. I find that people around me, if they do drink, like it's fine. It's like I don't even, like I just, like it's just not a problem. They're doing them, I'm doing me. But because
yeah.
I've got such a good boundary with it and
Mm.
energy, my energy boundaries are strong. I'm okay,
Yeah.
and I just find they're different. It's interesting. I find that just energetically they're showing up different in those spaces even.
Mm. Yeah, no,
And I'm
absolutely.
sure that's probably an age thing as well for most of us.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think it's
It's
all
like,
the
who
like
wants to
I
feel
Yeah,
really
Maria,
crap the
don't
next day?
just what Sam was saying there, I just feel like, for me, my life circumstances are just so heavy. Like, I was out a couple of weeks ago, it was probably more than a couple of weeks ago, went to the driving range with my friend and the kids. And my goodness, I was literally belly laughing. And I said to my friend, I went, I mean, like I lost my dad 18 months ago. So, that there's that as well thrown into the mix. And I was
Yeah.
just there like, oh my God, thank you so much. I don't know the last time I,
Mm.
like you said, Sam, just let rip and just laughed like so hard. I was like, I've missed this. And, I used to be I used to be really carefree. And
Mm-hmm.
and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that part of me is just gone. And I don't know if it's just the work of the personal development. I don't know. But
Mm.
I kind of feel, is that the old Kirsty that is gone for good? Or do you know what I mean? So yeah, what Sam says about, just sort of having a real laugh out loud, belly laugh.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and also I think that's for a lot of people. The world felt like it got a lot more serious the last few
Yeah.
years. I feel like we all lived way more carefree before 2020,
Yeah.
21 kicked in. And it's tough when you can so clearly see the truths of so many things, and not everybody chooses to. And
Mm,
and also that's their path, so
Yeah.
mm,
when we can just connect more within when we're feeling that division. And then also, in fact, Paige, our mutual friend Sam, she teaches laughter therapy. And, there's a piece of that therapy of, faking it, like
Yeah.
forcing yourself into laugh to build that laughter muscle
makes you
when you've
laugh.
not really
Yeah.
felt it. And it's
Which
so
I love.
important for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and being playful, I think that's why I've always just loved being with kids, and I miss
Mm.
working with littles right now. Oh, I mean, we've got a few babies in our well, but I just love it because for
Yeah.
me, they're so easy and silly, and they'll giggle. You can just be goofy and silly, and they'll just laugh along with you.
Yeah.
there's so much freedom in, with little kids in that aspect, right? They keep you in that fun curiosity phase.
Yes, very much
So,
so.
okay, so what we'll do is, so the last round, we'll tap and we're gonna say, even though
Even
Even
though
though
I have struggled in the last few years,
I have
I've
struggled in
struggled in
the
the last
last
few
few
years,
years,
the world around me has been a lot heavier,
the
the
world
world
around me has
around
been a lot heavier,
me
a lot more serious,
a
a
lot
lot
more
more
serious,
serious,
and I miss the carefree,
and
and
I
I
miss
miss
the carefree,
the laughter,
the laughter,
the joy.
the
the
joy.
joy.
And even though I've outgrown some ways that I received that,
And
And
even though I've
even though I've
outgrown
outgrown
some of the
some
ways I've
ways I
received that,
received it,
I'm open to making space
I'm open to making space
and receiving more of the good stuff
and receiving more of
receiving
the
more
good
of the
stuff
good stuff,
and getting back into that joyful place.
and
and
getting
getting
back
back
into
into
that
that
joyful
joyful
place.
place.
And I love and accept
And I
And I
love
love
and
and accept
accept
all parts of me.
all
all
parts of
parts of
me.
me.
And go to the top of the head. I'm welcoming in
I'm
I'm
welcoming in
welcoming in
more adventure.
more
more
adventure,
adventure,
Top of the eyebrows, more curiosity.
more
more
curiosity,
curiosity,
Side of the eyes, more opportunities to laugh.
more
more
opportunities
opportunities,
to laugh,
Under the eyes, more opportunities to be playful.
more
more
opportunities to be
opportunities
playful,
Under the nose, to be in my body.
to
to be
be
in my body,
in my body,
Under lips, to be in the stillness.
to
to
be
be
in
in
the
the
stillness
stillness,
Collarbone points while making space for the joy.
while making space for
space
the
for the
joy.
joy.
Side of the eyes. Oh gosh, sorry. Under
There's
under the ribs.
the joy.
Under the arms. Oh my gosh, I've totally lost my trail here. I'm open to ways to create new joy.
I'm open to
Open
ways
to
to
ways to
creating
create
new
new
joy
joy
Under the ribs. With new people and experiences.
with
with new
new
people
people
and
and
experiences.
experiences.
Wristband points. And feeling the appreciation
I'm feeling the appreciation
for all this newness.
for
For
all
all
this
this
newness
newness,
Top of the head. Instead of
instead
instead
of
of
dwelling on how it used to be.
dwelling on
dwelling
how it
on how
used
it
to
used
be.
to be.
Top of the eyebrows. Because it's okay to outgrow the old ways.
It's
It's
okay to
okay
outgrow
to
the
go
old
the old ways.
ways.
Side of the eyes. And I can detach myself
And I can
And
detach
I can
myself
detach myself
from the world around me
from the world around me
from around me
when I need to.
when
when
I
I need
need
to.
to.
Under the eyes. It's safe for me to find the joy.
It's
It's safe
safe
for
for
me
me
to
to
find the
find the
joy
joy
Under the nose. In all the little things.
in
in all
all the
the
little things.
Under the lips. It's safe for me to be silly.
It's safe
it's
for me
safe
to
for
be
me to be
silly,
Collarbone points. To not take myself serious.
to not take
not take
myself so
myself.
serious.
Because healing can be fun.
Because healing can be
Healing
fun.
can be fun.
It can.
It can.
It can.
Take a big breath in through the nose. I've met some of the best people on my healing journey ever, ever, ever,
Mm.
ever, ever in my life. Who now I have the best laughs with.
Mm.
So just tuning into the body a moment. Just take a big breath in through the nose. And then sighing it out.
Mm.
And how do you feel? How does the left side of the head feel, Sam? Sometimes it'll move as well. Like sometimes the body sensation will move a little bit.
It moved from the left to the front, and but now it's yeah, it's hardly there.
So good. How
It's
about you,
really, really
Kirsty?
good. Yeah.
Yeah, same here, Maria. I've got literally maybe a one, if that.
Oh, stop
So
yawning.
good.
And now Sam's yawning.
So good. Yeah,
Oh,
yawn, yawn, yawn. And drink
Mm.
lots of water afterwards. Like this, this stuff takes a little bit to transmute out the body
mm.
as well.
I really need a
But
pee as well, actually. I'm like, right, everything's moving. It's really good.
it's
Moving all
good.
right.
It's good. But I think one of the pieces I just wanted to touch on really quick is also for like self-forgiveness.
Mm.
That's where I personally have felt like I can let go of the heaviness. And not to
Wow.
say I don't have my moments. I really felt the division in the world. I don't know, about 2 weeks ago. I had a good few hours where I was in it, and I needed to be. I needed to just be in it and cry. And my family knows that it's okay if mom's crying. Like, she's
Yeah.
fine. Like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm just sad. I'm just
Yeah.
sad. I'm just feeling this. What's going on? And also, that gives them opportunity to feel their
Yeah.
feelings. And it opened up,
Mhm.
conversation with my youngest daughter who'd seen awful videos going around of, the political violence and things, and she was really taken aback by that. And so it gave opportunity for us to talk about it and for her not
Yeah.
to hold it in at 17,
Yeah,
because it's
Absolutely.
not okay. It's not normal. But this stuff, appears to be more normalized, and it
And I
shouldn't
think
be. So,
that's the important thing to share. This is not normal,
mhm.
and not allowing that to be, well, it's just the way it is now. No, it's not. Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
it's not. It's not. It's not okay. And that was a really important conversation. And then forgiveness. That's really what I come back to, which if you caught when I said like I'm sorry, please
Yeah.
forgive me, I love you, thank you. That's the Ho'oponopono
Hmm.
prayer, which is a Hawaiian practice, which is a real grief practice that I just love. I was very gifted. I got to go to Maui and really
mm.
experience that. Like on their land, and
Wow.
that practice just
Wow.
Wow,
changed
Mm.
everything.
That's another
And
conversation for another time, Maria. I want to hear about that. I did not know
mm,
about that.
yeah, it was really lovely. But bringing that in through tapping, I'm
Yeah.
sorry that I've let this anger really take over me, and this fear of what's going on in the world. I'm sorry, like, please
almost
forgive me.
like
I
you're
didn't.
apologizing to your body for allowing that to be trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
the
Mm-hmm.
really,
beauty
Yeah.
of it, you're healing you. It's also healing everyone
Yeah.
else, isn't it? You know, from
Yeah.
the Ho'oponopono story of Dr. Hugh Lin and what he did with the psychiatric ward in the
Yeah.
prison.
Yeah.
So
It's a
it's
really powerful
fascinating.
practice. And
Yeah.
using it for the world madness. That's literally what I did the
hmm
other Saturday when I was feeling the heavy. I lit a candle and I was just sat. I just
Nice.
cried and I tapped for myself because I was like, oh gosh, like, why have I brought my kids into this world?
yeah.
What the hell? This is so messed up. They should not be seeing these videos. Like one of
Mm.
my older kids, well, I said, how, like, was you okay watching that video? Because it was, didn't know there was going to open that video.
Mm.
And she said, well, I've seen stuff in movies before.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's movies. I know, yeah, I know.
yeah. And I was like, oh, and the sadness I felt as a mom that these kids, there's so much emphasis on, well, our grandparents went through the war, but these kids have been
Mm.
through a hell of a lot the last five
Yeah.
years. A
Yeah.
hell of a lot. It's, why I do the work I do with kids, that's when it
Sure.
really became loud. But forgiveness for the world, using that
Yeah.
practice for like, I am so sorry for like literally the human condition and
Mm.
the pain and suffering and the fighting that's
Mm.
continued on. And really, channeling into that of forgiveness is really
And
powerful.
by tapping and saying it, you're bringing it deeper into your body.
Body.
It's not just
Yeah,
Rather than
words
just
that you're
saying,
just,
yeah.
affirmations, like you say, empty words. When you're tapping, just going through those four statements and tap through it, it's bringing it deeper into your cells.
yeah. And when we're tapping, we're working with the acupressure points.
Yeah.
So
hmm
EFT is very much linked to acupuncture, which is an
Mhm.
ancient practice.
Mhm.
Acupuncture is phenomenal for so many healing benefits, and
Yeah.
for most people notice a difference emotionally when they do acupuncture.
And
Yeah.
It
is that
works.
Chinese meridian lines?
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
works very similar, and it's all ancient stuff, like the
it
Chinese
really
medicine
is.
that I believe opened me up many years ago.
The bag of sticks.
I know.
Love that.
The back alley. Oh, Maria, we
Yeah,
could literally talk all
I
night.
know
Can we have you
we
back
could.
on?
Yes,
I
I
want
would
to hear
love
about
to.
Maui. Oh my goodness. And Pono. Oh my goodness, that sounds incredible. Yeah.
Really lovely. Thank you so much. And just let everyone know where they can find you, Maria.
Yes, my website is calmconnectionshealing.com, and I'm on Instagram, Calm Connections Healing, or I'm Maria Field on I think LinkedIn. Don't really go on there that often, or Facebook. Um,
Lovely.
yeah,
We'll
and
pop everything in the notes as well, but just yeah, thank you so much for your time today, and
you're
it's been
so
really lovely,
welcome.
and I
Thank you
had a
for
little giggle, so thank you for
I know,
that.
there you go. Hey, the joy's
I know.
back. Oh,
Really
The
Marie,
lovely.
lighter we feel in the body, the easier it is to feel the joy,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
And you don't need as much alcohol to have the fun. That was my big thing. I remember having a moment going, huh, I'm having a really good laugh and I've had literally one glass of wine instead of
yeah,
four.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And then it just
absolutely.
got less and less. And yeah, it's a pretty cool place to be.
This is
Beautiful.
So
Oh,
thank you,
Maria,
thank you,
and
thank
yeah.
yeah,
you.
and thank you. You've just shared that beautiful EFT gift with everybody else. So, please go away and practice. Share this podcast with friends, family, people you meet along the way, because it's just such a really, really, just experiencing that EFT in that short space of time, like going from an 8 to a 1, Sam going from a 7 to a not really there anymore, and she was yawning and giggling. So, hey, please share. And yeah, Maria, thank you so much for your time,
You're
darling, and
so
we will have
welcome.
you
And I've
back.
got free resources as well. Like, people want to email me. I've got a few printouts that I can send out and things.
Brilliant.
So I'm working on
Amazing.
some more resources, videos and things.
Love it.
Awesome.
Get
Well, we'll
yourself
get all
out
of
there,
that
babe.
in the notes so that people can get to you directly. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's just so great. Thank you, darling.
Thank
And
fabulous.
thanks,
you. Thank you
everyone.
for
We'll
having
see.
me.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Lots of love. Bye.